Most retirees spend decades obsessing over one number, their nest egg. They watch it every quarter, they celebrate every milestone. They think, when I hit that number, I'm free. But here's what nobody warns you about. That number doesn't matter nearly as much as the order you spend it in. I've worked with 2 clients who retired with the exact same amount of money, 1.2 million in their portfolio. Same market returns, same expenses, same dream of a work optional life. 5 years in, they called me panicking. He was running out of money. The other, she had an extra $400,000 sitting in her account. Same portfolio, same timeline, completely different outcomes. The only difference, where they pulled money from first. Today, I'm giving you the exact 3-step framework to build your own retirement paycheck. Minimize your taxes, protect your portfolio, and make absolutely sure you are never the person who runs out. If we haven't met, I'm Jacqueline Shattuck. I'm a certified financial planner, retirement income specialist, and host of the 4-time Emmy-nominated TV show on PBS, My Money Mentors. I help people in their 50s and 60s navigate out of the most important transition of their financial lives, moving from a paycheck someone else writes to a retirement paycheck your portfolio generates for you, strategically, efficiently, and without handing the IRS more than what they're owed. I know we're calling this a paycheck, but on average, my clients have about 3 checks coming into them monthly during their retirement. If you met my clients, then you'd see they've done everything right. They've saved, they've invested, they maxed their 401k or TSP for 20 years. But as retirement gets closer, they realize no one ever taught them what comes next. How do you actually turn that pile of money into a reliable income stream without running out and without getting crushed by taxes? That's exactly what we cover here. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I release new retirement income strategies every single week. Go ahead and subscribe now so you don't miss what's coming. All right, let's build your retirement paycheck. Before we talk about your portfolio, before we touch a single account, we need to establish something called your income floor. Your income floor is the guaranteed money coming in every single month, regardless of what the stock market is doing. Social Security, a pension if you have one, rental income, annuities, any fixed predictable income source, that is your floor. Here's why this is the foundation of everything. Most people retire and immediately start pulling from their 401k because it's the biggest pile of money they see. But if your Social Security alone is bringing in $3,500 a month and your living expenses are $4,500, you only need your portfolio to produce $1,000 a month. That completely changes your withdrawal strategy and your entire tax picture. So, the very first question I ask every client I work with is this: what is your guaranteed monthly income? Write it down. Social Security. Do you know your projected amount? Go to ssa.gov and check, or click here to see another video. Pension. What's your monthly number? Rental income. What comes in reliably? Add it all up. That number is your floor. Now, here's the piece that makes early retirement uniquely powerful. If you're retiring before age 62, you have no Social Security coming in for several years. For most people, that sounds like a problem, but I want to show you why it's actually the biggest financial opportunity you will ever have. We'll get there in a few minutes. For now, step 1. Know your floor. Step 2 is where the math gets real and where most retirement plans break down. Once you know your floor, you calculate what I call the gap. It's simple. Take your total monthly expenses in retirement and subtract your guaranteed income. Whatever's left, that's the number your portfolio has to produce every single month for the rest of your life. Let me give you a concrete example. You want $10,000 a month in retirement. Your Social Security benefit is $4,000 a month. Your gap is $6,000. That means your portfolio, your 401k, your IRAs, your brokerage accounts need to generate $6,000 a month reliably for 25 to 30 years, maybe even more. $6,000 a month is $72,000 a year. Using the traditional 4% withdrawal rule, you'd need a portfolio of 1.8 million to sustain that indefinitely. But here's what changes everything. If you can reduce that gap through smart sequencing, strategic tax management, and Roth conversion planning, you can retire on meaningfully less, make your money last significantly longer, and keep a far greater portion of what you've built. This is the entire point of this framework, not just to have enough, to keep as much of it as possible. Quick pause. If you're in your 50s and you're trying to figure out whether you have enough to actually walk away from your 9 to 5, you're exactly who this channel is built for. I put out new strategies every week. Hit subscribe right now so you never miss one. Okay, step 3. This is where the $400,000 lives. Most people think their retirement savings is one big pile of money, but it's not. Your money lives in 3 fundamentally different buckets, and each one has completely different tax rules attached to it. If you don't understand those rules, you will pay taxes you were never legally required to pay. Bucket 1, the taxable bucket. This is your regular brokerage account, typically the last one that people will fund. But the money you contributed to this has already been taxed. When you sell investments here, you pay capital gains tax. And if you've held them for more than 1 year, that rate is either 0, 15, or 20% depending on your income level. This is your flexibility bucket. And in early retirement, especially before Social Security kicks in, this is often the most tax efficient bucket to pull from first. Capital gains rates are almost always lower than ordinary income rates. And if your income is low enough, you may pay 0% in capital gains tax legally, strategically, and most people never take advantage of it. Bucket 2, the tax deferred bucket. This is your traditional 401k and traditional IRA. Your money grows tax-free for decades. That was the deal. But every single dollar you pull out of this bucket is taxed as ordinary income. Federal rate plus state taxes in most states. And here's the silent ticking clock inside the bucket. Required minimum distributions. Yes, they start at age 73. The IRS will force you to withdraw a certain percentage of this account every single year, whether you need the money or not. If you haven't managed this bucket carefully, those required minimum distributions can push you into a higher tax bracket than you were in when you were working. The IRS has been your silent partner in this bucket for 30 years. They will collect. Bucket 3, the tax-free bucket. This is your Roth IRA and your Roth 401k. You paid taxes on this money when it went in. And when it comes out, including every dollar of growth, it is completely tax-free. No ordinary income tax, no capital gains, no required minimum distributions during your lifetime. This is your legacy bucket, your long-term protection. The bucket you protect the longest and leave to your family with the least tax burden. 3 buckets, 3 completely different tax structures. Pull from them in the wrong order and you could pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes over a 25-year retirement. Pull from them in the right order and you keep that money for yourself and your legacy. Now, here is exactly where that $400,000 difference comes from and why it is almost entirely preventable. Most people's first instinct in retirement is pull from their 401k because it's the biggest account. Or they pull evenly from everything. Both strategies are expensive mistakes. Here's the strategy that changes your retirement math entirely. If you retire at 55, 58, or even 62 before your full Social Security kicks in, you enter what I call the early retirement tax window. This is the period when your taxable income is likely at the lowest it will ever be in your adult life. And that creates a window of opportunity that most retirees never even know exists. During this window, you do 3 things in sequence. First, live off of your taxable accounts. Your brokerage accounts go first. Your income is low. Your capital gains rate may be 0%, and you haven't triggered any ordinary income from your retirement accounts yet. Second, Execute Roth conversions. While your income is low, you systematically convert portions of your traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. You pay taxes on those converted dollars now, at the lowest bracket you'll likely ever see. Done right, over a 5 to 10 year window, you can move hundreds of thousands of dollars from a fully taxable bucket into a completely tax-free one. This is the Roth conversion strategy, and it is the single most powerful tax reduction tool available to early retirees. Third, let the Roth grow. Every dollar sitting in that Roth account is growing without any future tax liability attached to it. Now, fast forward to age 73, required minimum distributions hit. But because you spent those early retirement years converting your tax-deferred money, your traditional IRA balance is dramatically smaller. Your RMDs are also smaller. Your taxable income is lower. You stay in a lower bracket. And your portfolio, because you've shielded so much of it from taxes, lasts 5, 7, sometimes 10 years longer. That is where the $400,000 comes in. Not from a better stock pick, not from timing the market, from knowing which bucket to pull from and when. Now, for those of you thinking about retiring before age 59 and a half, I want to make sure you know about one specific rule that could save you thousands in penalties. I made a full video on this, but it's called the Rule of 55. If you separate from your employer in the calendar year you turn 55 or older, and you have a 401k with that employer, you can begin withdrawing from that 401k without the standard 10% early withdrawal penalty. This does not apply to IRAs. It only applies to the 401k of the most recent employer. This is one of the most underutilized tools in early retirement planning. It bridges the gap from age 55 to age 59 and a half without penalties, giving you access to the largest account while your Roth continues to grow untouched in the background. If the Rule of 55 applies to your situation, your entire sequencing strategy looks different. And that's a conversation I'd love to have with you personally. Before we close, I want to name 3 mistakes I see most often, because avoiding them is just as valuable as implementing everything I've shared today. Mistake number 1, pulling from the 401k first, especially in early retirement. You're converting low tax years into unnecessary ordinary income and permanently shrinking the window for Roth conversions. Mistake number 2, ignoring Roth conversions entirely. Every year you sit in a low income before retirement year without converting is a year of opportunity that you cannot get back. The window closes as Social Security and required minimum distributions increase your income. Mistake number 3, treating all accounts as one pool of money. Your retirement plan needs to know where your money lives, not just how much you have. The sequence is the strategy. 3 mistakes, 3 expensive, entirely avoidable outcomes. I can give you the framework in a video, but I cannot tell you sequence without knowing your numbers, your Social Security timing, your bucket balances, your projected tax bracket in retirement, your estate goals. That's what a strategy session is for. If you're within 5 years of retirement and you want to know exactly how this framework applies to your specific situation, how many years longer your portfolio could last, how much you could save in taxes, I want to sit down with you and run the numbers together. The link to book a strategy call with me is in the description box below. I work with a focused number of clients at a time, so if you're ready to build your retirement paycheck the right way, click the link today. This is the most important financial decision of your life, and it deserves a personalized plan. Retirement isn't a one-time decision. It's an annual recalibration. Your buckets change, tax laws shift, life surprises you. The people who thrive in retirement are the ones who treat it as an ongoing strategy, not a destination you arrive at and forget. If you want to go deeper on how to access your 401k early without penalties and what actually changes the moment you stop working, watch this video next. Most people are caught completely off guard, but you won't be. Again, I'm Jacqueline. Thanks for being here. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Stay golden, and I'll see you in the next video.